Let's start by defining what synthesis is. Synthesis is an important academic skill to master, especially at postgraduate level. Synthesis involves combining different ideas, information and evidence from various sources to create an integrated discussion with a new structure. This requires you to analyze, compare, contrast and draw connections from different perspectives. It is important to note that synthesizing is not the same as summarizing. Summarizing is restating or condensing information from one source at a time, without changing the original meaning. This is different from synthesis, which integrates ideas from multiple sources to develop a new understanding, interpretation or argument. Summarizing is descriptive and demonstrates understanding of content. Synthesizing is analytical and integrative and demonstrates critical thinking. So how do we synthesize? To begin synthesis, you should first understand the purpose. Are you looking to support an argument, explore a theme, or provide a comprehensive overview? Read and annotate various sources to identify key concepts, evidence, and arguments. Identify themes and patterns in the sources. Formulate a topic sentence to reflect your main point and to keep you focused. Create an outline to help structure your paper and ensure logical flow. Compare and contrast sources by identifying any similarities and differences. Integrate evidence smoothly using quotes, paraphrasing, and summarizing from various sources. Acknowledge counterarguments between sources. Maintain a critical stance by evaluating the quality and reliability of sources throughout the process. Use transitions to ensure cohesion and a logical flow in your discussion. And finally, revise, edit and refine your work. Here we have two examples of poor synthesis. These are poor examples as they provide a summary of each source instead of using synthesis. The examples also only discuss one source at a time, don't explain how the sources or concepts relate to each other, and they provide no insight or argument. Here we have two good examples of synthesis. These examples are good as they combine findings from multiple sources, identify common themes between sources, demonstrate analysis and critical thinking instead of only description, and they provide a broad conclusion. You should use synthesis anytime you need to integrate ideas, findings, or evidence from multiple sources to develop a deeper understanding or a coherent argument that is backed by credible sources. Use synthesis to discuss theories and findings from multiple sources in a literature review. This will allow you to show how different sources relate to each other and identify patterns, trends, and gaps. Next, use synthesis when developing a research problem. Integrating information and knowledge from various sources can help to justify and motivate the need for your study. Use synthesis when discussing data analysis. This allows you to relate your new findings to existing theories and literature. You can also use synthesis in the discussion section of your report by bringing together evidence to interpret your results. Finally, synthesis can be used in your conclusion and recommendations. You can even design a synthesis matrix that outlines the main ideas of each article. To use the matrix, label each source column with an author name or brief title. Use the area on the left to note the key points you identify in your reading. As you read each source, make notes in the appropriate source column whenever you come across additional information that relates to each of the main ideas. When you have completed the chart, review your notes to identify common themes, areas of disagreement, or gaps in the literature. Thank you. We hope that the presentation was useful. Please reach out via Imerys Assist if you have any further questions. Play the game to test your understanding.